Welcome, everyone. As one of the organizers of this Canadian Multiculturalism 2020 program, I want to welcome everyone to the celebration of the rich heritage of Canadians. At the outset, the Canadian Multicultural Education Foundation acknowledges that we are located on Treaty 6 territory and respects the histories, languages, and cultures of First Nations, Métis, Inuit, and all First Peoples of Canada, whose presence continues to enrich our vibrant community. Each year, CMEF holds a public event in honor of Canadian Multiculturalism Day. Since we can't safely be together because of the necessary social distancing, this online program is a way for us to bring this multicultural celebration to you. Today, we have messages from leaders in our community and performances from singers, dancers, drummers, and instrumentalists, and we will be announcing the winners of our Multicultural Photography Contest. I'd like to thank the Government of Canada for the funding that allows us to bring this program to you. So now, let's begin with a message from Beryl Scott, President of the Canadian Multicultural Education Foundation.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm President Beryl Scott from the Canadian Multicultural Education Foundation, and I'm here today to celebrate June 27th, Multiculturalism Day. I must first thank Treaty 6 for sharing their beautiful land with us all, and thank all the people that call Canada home to know that we are using their land for doing this. I'd also like to thank the federal government for their support in giving the grant that is allowing us to share with each other what multiculturalism is all about. Multiculturalism is a situation in which all different cultures or racial groups in a society have open, equal rights and opportunities, and no one is ignored or regarded as unimportant. Multiculturalism is becoming more important now than at any other time in history. It is the conclusion that multiculturalism is a good thing for society and everyone, regardless of ethnicity, where you were born, who you are as a person. CMEF upholds its mandate of promoting multicultural values through various programs. Teachers' resource books supporting school exchanges with the Indigenous family and everybody else in Canada. We also explore cultures through utilizing the voices of seniors and elders to broaden their understanding of multiculturalism. We're using virtual way of reaching everyone because of the pandemic COVID-19.
Hello everyone, and bonjour tout le monde. It is a pleasure to join you for this special Canadian Multiculturalism Day celebration. I know that everyone would prefer to mark this important day in person, but it's great that we're all finding ways to adapt and stay connected during this challenging time. While the current pandemic has led to a bit of temporary distancing, it has also brought us together in surprising and powerful ways. For example, I know that multicultural groups across Alberta have been reaching out to the greater community to help those in need and to make sure everyone is looked after. In a way, the pandemic has reminded us all of our common humanities. We are all in this together, and I trust that Alberta's multicultural spirit will continue to serve us well no matter what the future holds. As Her Majesty the Queen's representative in Alberta, I'd like to thank everyone at the Canadian Multicultural Education Foundation for your dedication to this very important work. Thank you as well to everyone who works to foster diversity, tolerance, and understanding in our communities. I encourage you to continue innovating and sharing your strengths as we move through this challenging time, because your efforts are essential to the quality of life we all enjoy. Thank you, merci, and keep up the great work.
Hi there, my name is Robin Sizik. I am a Métis musician from Edmonton, Alberta. I am honored to be here today sharing my music and wearing my Métis sash. So I'll tell you guys a little bit about myself. When I started my music career, I had actually gone through a lot of health problems, which kind of pushed me away from sports and stuff like that and inspired me to be more artistic and musical. Through these struggles with my health problems, I found a place to write from, to create art from, and to share my experiences. Through my Métis heritage, I found a very strong community who has supported me through all my endeavors, so I'm very excited to share that with you today. In the past, I have also been a recipient of the BBMA scholarship, which has helped me to fund my university career in achieving a Bachelor of Education. Today I will be sharing with you a live performance of my song Concentric at the Melisizwe Brothers concert called Remembering. The song that I'll be sharing with you guys today is about being stuck somewhere where you can't escape, to express the frustration of being in a situation that is seemingly inescapable, a concentric path of repeating emotional turmoil. Currently our world is going through change, where we recognize all the people that have faced discrimination in our society. As a white-presenting Métis person, I have seen many of these injustices with my own eyes. I believe that the feeling of repeating emotional turmoil fits well with the Black Lives Matter movement, along with the Indigenous pursuit of finding reconciliation in our society today. In a much more broad sense, this song is about trying to escape something that's happening over and over again to find your freedom. Concentric is my most recent release, but in the past I had the opportunity to be on the Indigenous Music Countdown. My song Waiting on You stayed on the Indigenous Music Countdown for 24 weeks and eventually hit number 1. I'm very excited to announce that I'm currently working on my very first full-length album. I'm hoping to release it in the spring. I hope that you'll enjoy my performance and find a personal connection to my music. Thank you guys.
Talk to me, but you don't mean nothing. Try to make the song but sing. Truth can say so many things. Caught up in these mixed meanings. I don't understand a word you say. Cheshire cat with all your different ways. Trying to make me turn astray, but it's best for you to stay away. Concentric, concentric. Can't tell if you lie or you meant it. Concentric, concentric. This circle never ends, round and back again. This path is getting confusing. Why does it feel like I'm losing? This circle never ends, back and forth, it's not pretend. So lost and there's nowhere to go, nowhere to go. You leave breadcrumbs wherever you go, down a path I don't want to know. Someday soon the cold wind will blow and cast away the lies you sow. Time's run out, can you hear the clock tick? Better come up with something quick. No more time, now I'm done, that's it. I'll blow you down like a house of sticks. Concentric, concentric. Can't tell if you lie or you meant it. Concentric, concentric. This circle never ends, round and back again. Ooh, circle never ends, back and forth, it's not pretend. Nowhere to go. And be so quick, but you'll still get burnt from the candlestick. You can lie till your face turns blue. Don't recall what I saw in you. This circle never ends, round and back again. This method is getting confusing. Why does it feel like I'm losing? This circle never ends, back and forth, it's not pretend. So lost and there's nowhere to go, nowhere to go.
Hello everyone, bonjour à tous. Today is Canadian Multiculturalism Day, a day for us all to celebrate who we are, to reflect on how far we have come as a country, and to enhance the supports necessary to build a more inclusive and truly reflective Canada. Aujourd'hui est la journée canadienne de multiculturalisme, une journée qui nous permet à tous de célébrer qui nous sommes, de penser au travail fait par notre pays et du travail qui nous attend pour un pays plus inclusif. Diversity has always been one of our greatest strengths, yet we must never forget that a multicultural society is always a work in progress. It demands our effort, our attention, and our commitment. We have been reminded that Canada is not immune to the realities of systemic racism, inequity, and racial injustice. It never was. It is part of our history, and today we commit to actions and outcomes to build a more inclusive Canada. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has tasked me with responsibilities to ensure that Canadian diversity is both celebrated and respected in all of its forms, and I will need the help of all Canadians. In these difficult and trying times, community is so important. I am pleased to join your virtual event for this year's Canadian Multiculturalism Day. The Canadian Multicultural Education Foundation was founded in 1990 to support and strengthen multiculturalism in Canada. This year, and thanks to a grant from Canadian Heritage's Celebrate Canada program, you're bringing the community together through an online concert highlighting talents and performers from diverse communities. I hope everyone enjoys the impressive lineup of talent and creative videos that the Canadian Multicultural Education Foundation has in store for you. As Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says, as Canadians, we are strong not in spite of our differences, but because of them. Today we acknowledge and reflect on the differences that make us all Canadian, and we commit to working together to build an even better and more inclusive Canada. Thank you, merci.
Hi there everyone, and happy Canadian Multiculturalism Day. My name is Leela Sharanahir, and I am Alberta's Minister of Culture, Multiculturalism and the Status of Women. I know that normally we would come together to share in celebrations and cultural performances from around the world on this day, but I'm so glad that we can still share our traditions and heritage virtually. When we share the music, dance, and food and stories from our cultures, we open doors to new friendships. After all, we all want the same things: a safe home for our families, the freedom to practice our faiths, and the opportunity to be successful. Whether you are a newcomer to Alberta or your family has lived here for generations, we need to make sure that all people feel included and valued. And now more than ever, we need to open our minds and our hearts to different facets of Alberta's amazing communities and cultures. It's a source of resilience and connection during these difficult times, and it helps us adapt and thrive in our ever-changing world. Right now, billions of people are turning to their culture as a source of comfort and community connection. There has been a surge in multicultural content online, from virtual visits to museums and galleries and global collaborations of culture and music, and even community choirs via social media. Major crises throughout history have forced people to discover new ways to connect, work together, and express themselves. Events such as this will help build community connections, which will definitely position us for successful recovery. My many thanks to Canadian Cultural Education Foundation for hosting this virtual event and for the valuable work that all of you have done over the past 30 years.
It's photography time! This year, our organization sponsored a contest for students in the photographic critique class at the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology. With this project, we wanted to interest and engage post-secondary students in issues relating to multiculturalism and increase their awareness of the rich multicultural fabric of Canada. We were also looking for new images portraying multiculturalism in Canada that we could use in our displays, on our website, and in our publications. Students were asked to submit photographs that illustrated compassion in a multicultural world. And the submissions were as diverse as the topic. They ranged from photographs of symbols and buildings to friends and families showing compassion and caring in our diverse society. We were very impressed by the imagination and the initiative shown by this new generation of photographers. I am pleased to announce the winners and share with you their beautiful photographs. Congratulations to Maya Gondalia, Renata Medeiros, Kenita Matthewsy, and Rafaela Rores. Thank you to instructor Robert Bray, who helped organize the assignment and the student submissions in order to raise the awareness of the value of multiculturalism in Canada.
On behalf of my City Council colleagues and as Mayor of Edmonton, I extend my warmest wishes and welcome to the 6th Annual Canadian Multiculturalism Day. Like many Edmonton events that celebrate community and belonging, the Canadian Multicultural Education Foundation has made the best of these interesting times we live in by transforming an annual gathering now to a virtual concert. Now I see, hear, and witness firsthand the incredible generosity of Edmontonians every day, regardless of where we come from, what we look like, or whom we worship. And in these COVID times, that desire to help, that faith in keeping each other safe has, I believe, shown why Edmonton is the resilient and caring community which you and I are so proud to call home. No doubt, there's still much work that remains, but on this day, it is my pleasure to proclaim June 27th, Canadian Multiculturalism Day in Edmonton. Thank you very much.
Edmonton and the EPS are both a multicultural police service and a multicultural city. Without question, that's our strength, and it's important that we celebrate our strengths. We all have a role, obviously, within EPS and our communities to make our communities a safer place. And part of that is your connections and your contacts with the community, of which multicultural perspective and a dimension is absolutely essential. So hope everybody enjoys the day. And from EPS to you, all the best and enjoy the day, and happy Multiculturalism Day.
तो दिल अपने बात अरे गूंगे मन सपन भयो मन समझ समझ पसता डूंगरी माथे डूंगरी 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 डूंगर माथे डूंगरी जिन बिच बेवेरे अरे रेल बिचारी कोई करे जो तो अंजन मोंगेज तेल इनानी रे कारणे मारो करने और पांच को जाट जम गई जीतारी सवाला खरी लूट जम गई जीतारी अरे सवाला खरी लूट जम गई जीतारी Come on, घोड़ा खाया हाथी घोड़ा डूब गया दिलगत पासी जान कम गई नीलानी अरे सवा लाख रूप कम गई नीलानी तुम्हारे सवा लाख रूप कम गई नीलानी जो
You know, driving across Canada is a long trip, and honestly, it felt so strange to do it in a car when it only takes, what, maybe 4 hours, 4 hours and 15 minutes to go in a nice, convenient airplane. However, because of quarantine, because of COVID, social distancing, etc., to make it safe for people on both ends and for myself, I drove 36 hours of driving, but then there were hours of sleeping, many stops for gas because there were hundreds of kilometers sometimes in between gas stations, so you always wanted to be at least half full. Oh, it was a long trip, guys. Charles Trenet, the French composer, wrote a sort of a patter song, like a Gilbert and Sullivan style patter song, about a family who was traveling to Canada. And instead of going across Canada in the normal ways, they would go in all sorts of ways. So they go by train, they go by car, they swim, they go by laitière, which I assume is milk train. I should have looked it up. Totally bilingual, that is not a word you learn in school, but milk train, all these different ways. So verse 1, there's this family going to Canada using all these different ways to get there. Verse 2, there was a mistake at the travel agency. One of the employees mess up their tickets, so they go to all these places in different ways than originally planned. And then the third verse, it's the author, the singer saying, you know what, if you want to travel and you wanted to go well, listen to me and sing my little itinerary song, and then it goes back to the normal order. So it's cute It's French, and here is Voyage au Canada by Charles Trenet. Parmi des plus charmantes 3 enfants, maman, papa partaient un beau jour de Nantes pour visiter le Canada. Fixent leur itinéraire après maintes réflexions. Ils choisirent pas ordinaire des moyens de locomotion. Et ainsi avant de partir, ils chantaient pour se divertir. Nous irons tantôt en auto, nous irons à Montréal à cheval. Nous traverserons Québec à pied sec. Nous irons à Ottawa, Ottawa. Nous irons à Valleyfield sur un fil. Nous irons à Trois-Rivières en laitière. Passons par Chicoutimi endormi. Nous irons à Lac-Saint-Jean en nageant. Voilà, voilà, un beau voyage, un beau voyage. Voilà, voilà, un beau voyage au Canada. Oui, mais parfois c'est étrange, on ne fait pas toujours ce qu'on veut. Bien souvent le hasard change nos projets les plus heureux. Nos amis furent, c'est pas de chance, victimes d'une distraction du chef du bureau d'agence des moyens de locomotion. Et à cause de l'employé qui s'était trompé de billet, ils allèrent à Toronto en nageant. Ils allèrent à Montréal endormis. Ils se rendirent à Québec en laitière. Ils allèrent à Ottawa sur un fil. Ils allèrent à Valleyfield à pied sec. Ils allèrent à Trois-Rivières en wawa. Passant par Chicoutimi à cheval. Et plongèrent dans le Lac-Saint-Jean en auto. Voilà, voilà, un beau voyage, un beau voyage. Voilà, voilà, un beau voyage au Canada. Depuis ce temps-là, messieurs, dames, les voyageurs ont compris. Pour éviter bien des drames, il faut à n'importe quel prix contrôler dans les agences les billets de locomotion. Si vous partez en vacances, la plus simple des précautions, c'est de chanter mon petit air d'itinéraire. Nous irons à Toronto en auto, nous irons à Montréal à cheval. Nous traverserons Québec à pied sec. Nous irons à Ottawa, Ottawa. Nous irons à Valleyfield sur un fil. Nous irons à Trois-Rivières en laitière. Passons par Chicoutimi endormi. Nous irons à Lac-Saint-Jean en nageant. Voilà, voilà, un beau voyage, un beau voyage. Voilà, voilà, un beau voyage au Canada.
Thank you for joining us for our Multiculturalism Day celebration. I want to thank all of the performers, those people who shared previously recorded videos, and those who made videos just for this event. And I want to especially thank the Government of Canada for funding our project. Canada was the first country in the world to have an official multiculturalism policy. Promoting and celebrating multiculturalism is just one way to help combat the problems of discrimination and racism in society. Building respect and understanding among people of different racial, religious, and cultural backgrounds builds a stronger community, a stronger Canada. We renew our commitment to working to achieve a nation that exemplifies compassion and justice for all, free from hate and racism. So, share this video with your friends. It will continue to be up on this page, and we'll see you next year, hopefully for an in-person celebration of our Canadian diversity. Happy Canadian Multiculturalism Day.